The fears surrounding the funding of the 2019 general election budget may have been laid to rest, and these hopes are confirmed by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, which has submitted the breakdown of its 143 billion naira budget for the poll. On Monday, the National Assembly Joint Committee on INEC adopted the election budget forwarded to the legislature by President Muhammadu Buhari. At the end of a closed-door meeting today, the chairman of the National Assembly Joint Committee on INEC, Senator Sulaiman Nazif, confirmed that INEC has submitted a new budget document reflecting the sum of 143 billion naira.
We are to reconvene tomorrow again at 4 o'clock.
At the moment, did you notice any new items?
Well, the subcommittee is working on that. So we do not have a report now until tomorrow by 4 when we have the details by the subcommittee.
But has INEC complied with your directive yesterday?
Yes, they have. We have their complete breakdown of the 143 billion.
Why are they not here to defend it?
No, we said they should bring the breakdown of 143. We have to go through it. If there are observations, then we call them for defense.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, INEC is making plans to forestall any plans to buy votes at the polling units during the 2019 general election. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, disclosed this at the Interagency Consultative Meeting on 2019 general election security in Abuja. He urged security agencies to step up their efforts and deploy men to the polling units and voting points across the country to arrest any attempt at vote buying.
We are going to work together to confront some of the new challenges that we are seeing emerging from particularly more recent elections. I want to flag this challenge very early, and that is this phenomenon of vote buying at polling units. We must never allow this to thrive, because our democracy must never be on sale to the highest bidder. It is the will of Nigerians that should determine who wins at every level of the electoral process. So we hope to continue to work with the security agencies to address this matter. Vote buying is an offense under the law, and we must apprehend and set an example of how not to behave on election day. So I will call and appeal on the security agencies to step up on the arrest and prosecution of vote buyers. We have 120,000 polling units, but we have additional 60,000 voting points, so 180,000. And it is expected that just like INEC, the security agencies will deploy to each of these polling units.
Now to mainstream politics. Nigeria's major opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, is set to pick its presidential candidate for the general election next year. This has been confirmed by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Kola Olobodiyan, when he spoke to Channels Television about the PDP's preparedness to field credible candidates in the forthcoming polls. He says the party has made delegate election compulsory for all members of the PDP, while the cost of its nomination forms for members seeking to contest the State Houses of Assembly and the House of Representatives is being slashed.
We fix the dates for our primaries. We have written to INEC, even long before people thought, stating the dates for our respective primaries and the processes of contesting election on the platform of our great party, the People's Democratic Party. The House of Assembly is slated to hold on September 15. The House of Rep will hold on September 19. The Senate will hold on September 23. The governorship will hold on September 28, while the presidential primary, which is a national convention, has been slated for October 6. What's also important, that as part of our effort to encourage the participation of young persons in the electoral process, the People's Democratic Party slashed the cost of its form for House of Reps from 2 million to 1 million. And as such, this will encourage many young persons to participate in the political process. Also important, and for members of our party to note, is that contrary to a system that permits impunity and imposition in the time past, where people can sit in their respective homes and write delegate lists. We have made delegate election compulsory, and by so doing, members of our party who want to serve as delegates, either at the National Convention or in the 3 ad hoc delegates, can come to purchase forms and contest for the position of delegates in their respective wards, states, local government, and even for the National Convention.
For the People's Democratic Party in Lagos, it's no longer at ease as the state chairman of the party, Mr. Moshood Salvador, has defected to the All Progressives Congress. But some leaders of the party in the state have described Mr. Salvador's defection as inconsequential, describing him as an unstable politician. Mr. Salvador has boasted about leaving the Lagos PDP with hundreds of members. Our political correspondent, Shewa Kimbaloye, reports.
It all started like a regular political party meeting until things were bizarre and the center could not hold. 24th of July 2018 is not a good day to remember for the families of Burishade Adeni, the chairman of the People's Democratic Party in Apapa local council area of Lagos, who was allegedly shot dead at a meeting of the party in Etiosa local council area of Lagos. Four members of the party, including the PDP chairman Moshood Salvador, were arrested by the police. Weeks later, Mr. Salvador, a former federal lawmaker, is out of the police custody. Here is a widow of the slain PDP chieftain. Amidst some leaders of the PDP in Lagos, she's devastated at the loss of her husband. The leaders too are not happy. They are pointing accusing fingers.
What was the purpose of his going from one local government to the other, inaugurating those who are unknown to the 65? Why did you go to that place without informing the police to make sure no fracas?
Mr. Salvador, who is being accused, does not find the accusations funny at all. He does have his own side of the story.
I was not there when the thing happened. I couldn't, nobody. If anybody lied to you, tell them to show you the video. It's all lie. If they can see me, Moshood Adegoke Salvador, in any video, talking or instructing people to do anything, it's all lie. Let them.
He's not done just yet. Mr. Salvador, the PDP chairman in Lagos, says he's done with the PDP and dumping the folks who he said abandoned him during the period of the crisis.
So it's not possible. I have to run away. And I cannot leave my valuable, reliable, and responsible followers and abandon them.
Mr. Salvador's exit from the PDP does not seem to bother these leaders.
I can't stop him. He's an individual. He's not a young man. He can decide on himself. So we have a very good question to ask. Why now?
It is a mixed bag. Anger, frustration, loss and defection. The Lagos PDP is on the receiving end. The issue surrounding the death of the party leader still hanging. The family in mourning. Justice is what they are seeking. The coming days will be intriguing and perhaps more revealing, especially when a life is involved. Shewa Kimbaloye, reporting for Channels Television News.
The caucus meeting of the All Progressives Congress is in progress at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The meeting has in attendance President Muhammadu Buhari, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. Others at the meeting, which started at 8:30 p.m., are party stalwart Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, the chairman of the APC, Adams Oshomole, and his exco, former chairman John Oyegun, members of the National Assembly, serving and former governors and ministers. The meeting is coming ahead of the party's NEC meeting on Thursday. More on politics, and the number of candidates aspiring for the presidency on the platform of the People's Democratic Party is increasing by the day. The latest to join the race is the former governor of Plateau State and lawmaker representing Plateau North in Senate, Jonah Jang. Mr. Jang officially announced his decision to join the contest at the Plateau State Secretariat of the PDP, with the party chairman, officials and political associates in attendance. Senator Jang has been standing trial for alleged misappropriation of 6.3 billion naira between 2007 and 2015 when he was governor.
Plateau State, that is the hope of Nigeria. Plateau State, that every Nigerian looks up unto. Plateau State, the great. Just the city of our Lord. It is therefore right that I should stand on the soil of just Plateau State today to make my declaration.
Politics and security could be on collision course, even as the National Security Advisor, retired General Babagana Mungono, has appealed to Nigerians to stop politicizing the farmer-herder crisis in the country. The NSA, who was speaking at a meeting in Abuja, noted the politicization of the security issue will not address the crisis, but rather aggravate it and hinder investment from thriving. General Mungono is, however, optimistic that the nation can achieve peace, with Nigerians providing security agencies with needed intelligence.
How to address the complex issues surrounding insecurity, which ranges from terrorism to incessant crisis between farmers and herders, is the reason for this meeting. The meeting brings together heads of security agencies, community leaders and members, and development partners.
Production in support of their subsistence and that of pastoralists who crave to find space to graze their cattle, also in support of their subsistence. This is, however, deepened by some complex interplays that accentuate the conflict. Even more worrisome is the seeming politicization of the conflict by some political actors who, by their actions or inactions, relegate national security considerations and advance their narrow political interests by playing around the conflict to score political points.
One after the other, heads of security agencies give a report of what they have been doing to promote peace in affected communities.
As an immediate short-term measure, the military line of operation under Operation Wild Stroke is currently used to restore law and order in the affected states, pending when the non-kinetic measures by government is in place to ensure a lasting solution to the crisis in the long term. So far, a lot of successes have been achieved in this regard. It is expected that other lines of operations will be explored towards resolving the conflict between the farmers and herders.
The Nigerian police has employed the community policing philosophy, and this has been yielding positive results.
For the next few days, discussions here will focus on how to promote peace, ensure better security in the country, as well as improve collaboration amongst security agencies.